Oh, welcome to Ghana GH Electrical Engineer. I know everybody is making a gradual plans to make a dream to become a reality as well. Once again, I want to show you a different component of word tank, or mostly call it a word pressure tank as well, and how does it work, and where it should be used. Mostly, you can find this on UK, US, and certain places, but you can use it all over in the world. It's no problem. What you need to do to know how to set up every single system or all the component, you know how to set it up. So I'm gonna get time to explain it to you. If you are new here, welcome back to once again to the families as well. And at the same time, too, you can subscribe to our channel. Anytime that I will put educational and informative video, you'll be notified at any time. All the components you can see is there. We have a water tank. Mostly in Africa, we use a water tank more than anything, but this typical setup coming from directly from the UK, because our client have lived over 40 years in the UK. So he came with the designing, and mostly that when he contact us, we think this designings really work because we have done this all over for our client as well. So let me explain how all the component is really working. You see right side of me, you can see we have a machine, a pump machine right here with me, and at the same time a tank. You can see them on your screen. This tank can take over 10 to 16 gallons. 10 to 16 gallons, if you can know, but this is a 35 as well. So I'm coming to explain it, but we are doing the installations. As you can see, the installation is ongoing. But when we finish the installation, I will get my time to explain how the water system work in this or the component. Mostly in Africa, for instance, you can find the tank, a water tank, all over in most of the domestic or commercial purpose. You can find the tank, which is a water tank, mostly over there. When you couldn't find even when you find the water tank, what they used to do is that you will find automatic pump, so that all the automatic pump will set this up. And let me tell you, you can see the tank. You wonder what this small tank is doing. This small tank can take like 10 to 16 gallons installed on this tank. It's really wonders. And what this tank does is that most of the time when you open your taps, it means that when you have, let me say, a poly tank, open your taps, open your shower, the water that flow is too small. This tank is going to help your water to circulate into the certain point, or you can get all the pressure that you may need to support your taps, your basin, your kitchen sinks, and all that. So I will explain it further on when we finish all the design, all the component, all the setup. We'll explain it further. So without wasting much time, let's see what this tank have for us. This tank mostly have to set up with a 28 psi's. 28 psi's. What does is that this is a factory manufacturer in UK as well, but their setup have to be 28 psi's. That is a tank set up. The tank is not working alone. It's working with the pump. You can see the pump here, right here with me. All of them, two of them work together. So the one of the major components that work with the pressure pump, it played the very vital role on here is a pressure switch. You can see the pressure switch is a mostly important for all the components because it played the very vital role on this resilience mindset. So you can see the setup is really ongoing. The installation is really going on. Mostly from 2 minutes or 3 minutes, we're mostly done. And then I was playing it further for you to see how the design really worked. So stay tuned. If you're new here, as I told you earlier on, subscribe to our channel, Ghana GH Electrical Engineer. Anytime that we put educational video, you'll be notified at any time. What we are doing here is a really connections between the pump and the word pressure tank or word tank as well. So you can see if you invest on one of this, it's really good. You are creating very conducive on your environment, or you're creating very conducive on your premises as well. So let me tell you, if you invest on one of these, trust me, you are not going to regret that. but you have to do enhance with a very good plumber, plumbing work, or a plumber to connect all this. Because typically you can see all the components, most of them are not from here. We bought all of them from the UK as well. So I'm going to get my time and explain it further when we finish connections, every single things you can see. So you can see we have a three component here. We have a tank, a water tank. We have a pump, and at the same time a well tank as well. So now we finished. As you can see, we have do the completed work. We have incoming supply and outgoing supply from the house, the main house. So as you can see it right there. So we have incoming supply from the Ghana water company, so which is the incoming, and outcoming go directly with the gravity to the house as well. So as you can see, mostly what I wanted to educate you here is this pipe mostly I use for all my projects. So if you have a plumber, please allow your plumber to use this pipe for all the connections in the house. It's really, really convenience when you use those kind of things. For me, I'm very comfortable when I use this kind of pipe to do all my installations at the plumbing work. So you can see we have do the connections. This setup, you can see right here with me, I have a poly tank here. What's it work perfectly. Let me explain it further for you to see all the setup. We have a true poly tank at the ground floor. Mostly we have automatic pump at the ground floor. So when the water is coming from the utility source from the Ghana water company, it come through the two poly tank at the ground floor. Now we are middle of the roofing top. So it go to the two poly tank at the ground floor, and then we have a pump, automatic pump, that serves water from the ground floor to the roofing top. This poly tank right here with me, and then this motor, you can see, let me get close to here. You can see the sources of the air is a setup for the pump. Is a really setup. You can see the 30 is on and the 50 is off. What happened is that when it hit 30, it means that it hit the lower versions, so that the pump have to be start on and the pump have to be working. So when it hit 50, because it means that the tank is really full, so the pump is completely have to go off. The pump have to go off. So what happened that we create very convenience for all this setup, all this component. You can see right here, you can open there, and another one when you are coming to clean the poly tank too, there is another version here. You can also open there when you wanted to create the poly tank. So what you see there, we reduce it to the three-quarter pipes. As you can see, people that are doing the plumbing work will know it better. It's really technical for you to see. So this is a pump. We have vent air. Mostly, this is a really setup for everything. I love this designing. You can see it completely there. This pump is really working perfectly. It's really working perfectly. It have everything. This is a vent air. When you are coming to start the pump, you need to make sure that you open here and you put a little water. It's not that this pump, you completely destroy this pump. So after that, this is a well tank. This is what we're talking about. And this is the whole resilience setup. As you can see, we have connected the sources from the tank to the pump, from the pump to the well tank. So let me explain it. We have a well tank. Let me explain it further because we have completely done everything here. All the pipe work is completely done. So let me explain it furthermore for you to understand. This tank, I told you the fact, it can take water like 10 to 16 gallons. 10 to 16 gallons. So it's not small things. You see it very small, but it's not small. It can take 10 to 16 gallons per manufacturing details giving it to us. So you can see the whole setup here is really, really good. And we have provided instructions for this. As you can see, water coming from this place, all over this place, and it passed through all these holes. You can see the black holes. It passed through that place and it come back here. So let me explain it for you to understand. When water comes back here and goes to the tank, So what does is here? We have a connections here, a connection to this place, and this is non-return valves. That shows you see a little indication over there. It means that water can go through, but it cannot go back, regardless of everything. Water can goes in, but it cannot go back. So water can goes in, and this is a gauge, a pressure gauge. A pressure gauge. So this is a lower because the water, there is no water in this tank, so it's hit the lower bottoms. So this tank must go to 30 to 50 psi, 30 to 50 psi, as you can see. And right here, if you wanted to clean the tank, this is where we are going to regulate it to clean the tank. This is where you are going to regulate it to clean the tank. So this is a really very, very fractional component you can see. And right here too, if it work with this right here is a pressure switch. It's play very vital role on all the components, this component, it play the vital role. Let me open it to see what it really what the components inside. You can see, because of we are doing electrical work too, so we are going to provide every single thing here. So we are going to provide every single thing here. This is going to connect, power is going to connect sources to hit this place. Before this place, it goes to the pump. So this is going to sense the pump to work. So it is listen to me. This is going to make sure that the pump is on and off. This is going to send the pump, is going to command the pump to go on or go off. That is completely. So let me close this. We are going to connect that because we are doing electrician work in this house. We are taking all the electrical work in this house. So we are going to work on to this. So this is really perfect. If you have this one, if you invest on this one, trust me, you're creating very conducive for your own environment. And trust me, you're going to work. This is utility valves. So when you turn it and the water flow into it go with the gravity into the supply to the house. So if you close it, and then it means that you're completely shut down every single things on your house. So if you wanted to do anything, you can completely close this and also open it. You see, so this is a typical setup directly coming from the UK, and this system, I really love this system. It goes through, the water goes through this system, pass through here, and pass through this system, go to the pressure tank, before the pressure tank, and directly store the water in. When it store the water in, the moment that you turn your shower, your taps, and the water comes with a very gravity, very pressure. I love it. If you invest on one, you don't need to buy a pressure machine again. If you invest on this one of this pressure, the wall tank or wall pressure tank, there is no need to buy a pressure machine or a control machine to empower you more pressure in your house. So this will give you, and let me tell you, the pump instruction is there. Anyone that taxes this, there is a instruction that is already provided on this place. So mostly you can use it for anything, regardless of everything. We have do all the connection. And let me tell you one important thing. This is a temporary connection that we do for our client because they wanted to live here, and then we come for the permanent. So that is why we have provide match blocks and all that. You can see it right there. We are going to provide very a permanent place for all this setup. So you can see right here another pipe go directly to the gravity and serve the house. So we have a pipe coming up from the ground floor all the way to this roofing top to fill the poly tank. And at the same time you have a water going out for the taps, the basin, the showers, and everything with a very gravity because of the world tank or world pressure tank as well. This I love this. Thank you. I know that this is really informative and at the same time educational as well. Thank you for your viewing pleasure and much of your support. Thank you very, very much, guys. Once again, Yebeshia, thank you very much for your viewing pleasure.